One of the most remarkable places to spend time in Singapore is right in the heart of the city. Almost 5 million people visit this per annum. It's the only tropical botanic garden and the third botanic garden in the world that has been recognised for its historical and cultural significance, being declared a World Heritage Site. The criteria for World Heritage listing is extremely strict, and Singapore's Botanic Garden was selected for a very important reason. It showed the transformation, the evolution from what was a traditional British tropical botanical garden in the pleasure landscape style into a modern research facility, a place that researched, also provides education and most importantly provides conservation of the tropical plants that exist in this region. Now, the garden was actually incorporated officially as a botanic garden back in 1859. That was 37 years after Sir Stamford Raffles had planted the very first experimental plants right here in Singapore. But it wasn't here on this site, it was at Fort Canning. One garden within the garden, and there are many to discover, that I really love is the Healing Garden. This garden is laid out over 2.5 hectares and it's quite remarkable the way they've done it. You see there are 400 different species of plants here that all have different benefits for your health. The garden itself is actually laid out in different components just like the body. The head and neck, the muscular and skeletal area, the digestive area and even the reproductive area. And in those areas you'll find plants that are incredibly good for you. This garden has extensive educational signage for people to be able to learn as they go. And whilst it tells the story of why and how these plants are used, it's by no way a consulting room with doctors. The garden management stress that only your doctor can prescribe medicines. Another place to look out for is the Fragrant Garden. It's just next door to the Medicinal Garden. It explores the question of why flowers are fragrant. And why is that so? Well, plants are incredibly clever. They have evolved over millions, hundreds of millions of years to produce these chemicals that attract us in different ways. With insects, well, of course, they're attracted in to pollinate. But with human beings, it's our olfactory glands that actually pick up that sense, interpret it as a pleasurable scent or smell, and attract us to the plant to interact. Again, in some cases, actually pollinating. And there's one really key message here. Plants are very clever.